Have you ever been in this situation? You wake up one morning excited, ready to dive into an important project, your mind clear, your motivation high, everything seems to be going well. You have a plan, you know what you need to do, and most of all, you really want to get it done. But then it's like you hit some invisible wall. The excitement suddenly disappears, replaced by a feeling of discouragement, self doubt, even a desire to give up. One minute you're moving forward with enthusiasm, the next you're sitting there, staring at your computer screen, wondering, why did I start this? Sound familiar? Whether you're a student struggling with a term paper, or someone trying to accomplish a personal goal like learning a new skill, eating healthier, or even trying to be more kind and positive every day, you've probably felt stuck at some point. Actually, mine, it's not uncommon. Psychologists call it the stuck in the middle effect, and it happens more than you might think. It's always easier at first. It's like when you first decide to go for a run, the first mile feels great. New shoes, favorite playlist, excited mood. But then after a few sessions, the novelty starts to wear off. The initial excitement wears off. You find yourself not moving as fast as you expected. Your goal feels like it's somewhere far away, and the only thing you can really feel is tired. The problem is, instead of feeling proud of what we've accomplished, we start obsessing over the rest. It's as if the small achievements pale in comparison to the huge distance yet to be covered. You start to doubt yourself. Am I on the right track? Am I capable? Why did I even start this? These questions repeat themselves over and over like a dull soundtrack, making you falter. But this is where you need to stop and remind yourself you don't have to swallow the whole pizza in one bite. It sounds weird, but imagine if you had a giant pizza in front of you. You wouldn't try to eat it all at once, would you? You would break it down. And the same goes for goals. When you feel like something is too big, break it down into smaller, more manageable steps. It sounds simple, but the impact is huge. Why? Because every time you complete a small step, no matter how small, your brain releases a little bit of dopamine, a natural chemical reward that makes you feel good. The thing is crossed off the list, a tangible step forward, and you feel, oh, I'm making progress. That feeling is what keeps you going. No one is asking you to do everything at once. You just need to do one small thing and do it consistently. Because those small steps, when accumulated over time, become a meaningful journey. And sometimes, all you need to overcome stagnation is to remind yourself that you're not standing still, that you're still moving forward, even if it's just a little bit. And that's why it's so important to break down your goals into specific steps. When you feel overwhelmed, remember that you don't have to get everything done at once. Every small action you take, whether it's writing a paragraph, completing a task, or simply waking up 15 minutes earlier to exercise, is a step forward. Small, but still. It's not about how far you go in a day. It's about whether you're moving at all. Because the truth is, feeling stuck doesn't always come from doing something too hard. It often comes from being still, from standing still for too long. But there will be days when even the smallest step feels meaningless, especially when your goal isn't just to accomplish something personal, but to change something much larger. Maybe you're concerned about climate change, about social justice, about issues that extend beyond your own life. And you look around, and you see everything is messy, unfair, complicated, and you start to think, can I do anything? The feeling is painfully familiar. You want to help, but you don't know where to start. You're afraid that no matter how hard you try, nothing will change. Actually, you're not alone. Many people feel the same way. They care, they worry, but they stop there. Not because they don't care, but because they feel so small in this big world. But the truth is, you can make a difference. And that difference doesn't come from a single great act, but from small things repeated over and over again. From perseverance, from the steps you silently take, even when no one praises you, even when no one shines on you. Imagine a rainstorm that starts with a single drop of water that keeps falling one after another, without stopping, and then, at some point, it becomes a stream. The same goes for change. You recycle a bottle, you share a good article, you buy more sustainable products, you listen to others and open your heart to a new perspective. Those things, if done by one person, are not enough. But when hundreds, thousands, millions of people do them, it becomes a movement. And every movement starts with one person who dares to do the first thing. You don't have to be the best, the most famous, or the loudest. You just have to believe that your actions matter. And the truth is, they do matter. That belief is the fire that keeps you going, especially when you see results coming slowly, or worse, no change at all. But remember, just because you don't see it right now doesn't mean nothing is happening. Change is often quiet, but it always starts from within. And here's something else that few people mention. Inspiration doesn't always come from love or passion. Sometimes it comes from anger. Yes, you heard that right. Sometimes it's the feeling of dissatisfaction, discomfort, or frustration that is the most powerful motivator to take action. Think back to the civil rights struggles of history. Most of them didn't start with a dream, but with a rage that was too big to keep inside. When you're angry about injustice, about discrimination, about a broken system, that's also a form of energy. It's not bad if you know how to turn it into positive action. The point is, we need to learn to channel that anger into solutions, instead of letting it burn us out, exhaust us, and then give up. Be angry for a reason that's good enough to keep you from being silent. Be smartly angry. Let your anger lead you to action, not despair. And in all of this turmoil, there's one thing that will help you feel less alone: connection. Sure, you may be struggling alone, but there are people out there who feel the same way you do. You may not have met them yet. They may be quietly taking action, just like you. And the beautiful thing is, when like-minded people find each other, something magical happens. Suddenly you don't feel like you're carrying it all alone. You feel energized. You feel like you're in it together. It's not just support, it's life-giving. Just seeing someone else trying makes you feel like you should try, too. Just hearing a story of someone getting through a tough time makes you believe you can do it. Community isn't just a place to share joy, it's a place to pick each other up when one of you is about to fall. And the best part? You don't need a big team. Just one person who understands you, believes in you, and moves forward with you. That's more than enough. And remember, sometimes breaking the cycle of stagnation doesn't require a perfect plan. All it takes is taking action, no matter how small. Writing a first line, tidying up your room, sending a text message of apology, or simply getting up and walking outside for 5 minutes. Anything. Just don't stand still. That's how you pull yourself out of the rut of stagnation. Little by little. No flash, no fanfare, but powerful. And then once you've taken action, even if it's just a small step, the next important thing is, don't forget to celebrate. It sounds simple, but many people miss this. They're so focused on the end goal, they forget how many obstacles they've overcome. They write 3 pages of a report, but think to themselves, there are 7 more pages to go. They run 2 kilometers and then shake their head, I still haven't reached my 5 kilometers goal. They help one person, but think, what's that? There are still so many problems in the world. See what we're doing. The way we deny our own progress as if only the biggest successes are worthy of recognition. But the truth is this: every step forward is worth celebrating. Every single thing you do today, no matter how small, is something you didn't do yesterday. And stopping to pat yourself on the back, to smile, to celebrate that little step, is the fuel that keeps you going. You don't have to wait until you finish the whole pizza to be happy. Allow yourself to enjoy each slice, each milestone. Every time you check something off your list, every time you get up from your chair and walk, your brain gets a positive signal, a little dopamine, but enough to remind you, hey, you're on the right track. Think of it like a game where you get points for each task you complete. There's no leaderboard, no one to compare your scores to. Every point you score is for you. Proof that you're not giving up. Little by little, you'll begin to realize that motivation isn't something that comes and goes randomly. It's nurtured. It lives in every action you take, every victory you celebrate, every companion you make, and every time you choose not to give up. And when you maintain that consistency, whether it's writing 100 words a day, studying for 15 minutes a day, or just getting out of bed on time every morning, you're building a solid foundation for bigger things. Because, like a domino effect, one small thing leads to another, then another, and suddenly you've come a long way. But you might ask, how do I keep that consistency going? Won't I get lazy, forgetful, and lose motivation sooner or later? The answer is yes, and it's perfectly normal for that to happen. Losing motivation doesn't mean you're weak. It just means you're human. And humans get tired. doubt themselves, and want to give up. But that's why small victories are important. Each small victory is a reminder you've done it before. And if you've done it before, you can do it again. Make the action a habit and make celebrating it a part of that habit. It doesn't have to be big. It could be a cup of coffee you brew yourself after completing a task, a song you reward yourself with after studying, or a good job you whisper to yourself. They may seem small, but they're not. Celebrations like these are a way to redefine success, not as a destination, but as a process. And when you learn to love the process, you'll no longer feel pressured by the goal being too far away. You'll want to keep going simply because you're enjoying the process. So if you're feeling stuck in the middle of a project, a dream, or a journey where things suddenly feel heavy, difficult to move forward, remember you're not alone. We all get to that midway point where the initial excitement is gone, but the destination is still far away, where you have to ask yourself, what am I doing and is it worth it? And the answer is yes, and it's worth it. Not because you're strong all the time, but because you dare to continue even when you feel weak. You choose to take a step, one small step, then another, and sometimes that's enough. You don't have to do everything today. You don't have to solve everything at once. You don't have to be perfect or motivated all the time. You just have to not stop completely. Even if it's slow, it's still movement. Break down your goals, take action, find community, like-minded people so you don't feel isolated. Celebrate small steps, create your own energy, and most importantly, remember that every action you take, no matter how small, is part of something bigger. Change doesn't happen overnight, but it starts with a very small choice. At a very ordinary time like right now, you can choose to do it today. One action, one small step. And if you don't know where to start, either share this video with someone who needs to hear these words. Who knows? You might not only inspire yourself, but also inspire someone else. Because in the end, change isn't about one person. It's about all of us, together. One small step at a time. You don't have to be perfect to start, but you do have to start to get closer to something great. If you find this sharing meaningful, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to receive more inspirational videos like this every day. And in the comments below, tell me what is one small step you will take today. I'd love to hear. You can do it, and I believe in you. See you soon.